Judiciary. Due to continuing issues related to COVID-19, we have some new meeting protocols in place for the 2020 interim session. Remote access will be allowed to all meetings for the interim. Members were provided information prior to the meeting on how to access the meeting remotely. Any meeting materials received by the deadline were posted online earlier this week and made available for downloading. We're getting ready to call the roll. Members, you will need to indicate whether you're present in person, remote from district, or remote from office. At this time, we'll have the Secretary call the roll. Please call the roll.
Senator Harper Angel.
Here remotely.
Are you from district or your annex office, ma'am?
Sorry, I'm from my district.
Senator Schickel. Senator Webb. Senator Westerfield.
Here for my district.
Representative Elliott.
Remotely from my district.
Representative Hatton.
Here in person.
Thank you. Representative Kulkarni.
Here for my district.
Representative Lee. Senator Humphreys. Senator McDaniel. Representative Petrie.
Present in the committee room.
Representative Reed. Representative Rudy. Representative Nemus.
Present remotely from district.
Thank you. And Chair West.
Present. Thank you. We are going to switch up a little bit from the itinerary. We're going to do DOC JT first, and I envision that this segment will take us about 15 minutes. That's our goal. So is Mr. Gillick available? If you could.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Sorry to.
I apologize. It took me a minute to find the unmute button. I apologize.
No worries. Sorry to switch it up on you, but we thought we might give, the other subject might take a little longer, so we thought we might give you the opportunity to present, and then if you didn't want to stay around, you could leave. So we'll turn it over to you. If you could, tell us who you are and who you have with you for the record, and then the topic we're talking about today is the impact of COVID-19 on DOCJT training, and specifically the CLIP funding. So if you could proceed.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Nikolai Gillick. I am the Commissioner of the Department of Criminal Justice Training, and today I have Dr. Frank Kubala, who is our training director here at DOCJT. Mr. Kubala here to my left. So I apologize. It's the first time that I've testified remotely, so I'm not sure on how things work here. If somebody has a question, I'll keep talking, I guess, until I notice somebody interrupts me. But
just so you know, we cannot see you on the screen. We can only hear you. I can see you at a laptop at my desk, but no one else can see you. It's only a voice. So we'll just let you present, and then I'll chime in when we have questions.
Okay, I'm going to try to scoot what I think is my microphone here a little bit closer to make sure you can hear me. So in preparation for this testimony, I received an email with a few questions. So that's where I'm going to start, is addressing the questions that were sent to me via email. So as you know, for those of you that may not know, I'm going to give you a little bit of context and background. The Department of Criminal Justice Training, we have various mandates, and we teach police officers and telecommunications folks, coroners, court security officers. There's a whole slew of folks we're responsible for, but the questions that I received were primarily about law enforcement. So my testimony today will be about our responsibilities with teaching and training law enforcement. DOCJT, to kind of simplify things, we've got two separate sides to our responsibility, we have the basic training side and we have the in-service training side. The basic training side we have an academy of minimum of 800 hours mandated by law, where we take new hires, police departments, put them through a 20-week academy, and where they're then eligible upon graduation for certification from the Law Enforcement Council. That's one side, and the other side is our in-service training, and that is the kind of the professional development side of the house, if you want to think of it that way, for officers who are already certified and working within their departments. That's the training that they have available to them to further them in their profession throughout their career. So I'm going to kind of separate the testimony into two sides, because I have a question regarding the COVID effect on both basic and in-service. For the basic side of things, just to give you some context, pre-COVID and under normal operations, we have about 4 to 5 basic academy classes running simultaneously year-round. These classes are numbered, so as one graduates and a new one comes in, they receive the next number up sequentially. So we are currently at class 511, and so just to give you some perspective, if I talk about class numbers, that's what I'm referring to. It's kind of, obviously the safety of our recruits and their agencies are paramount. And as the COVID, the pandemic situation was developing spring into summer, we shut down and sent all the basic recruits home at the end of March. And at that time, we had 3 classes that were still at the academy. So 3 classes were sent home midstream. That was class 511, 512, and 513. You kind of think of them like our freshman, sophomore, senior, if you wish. So immediately when they left, this was an unprecedented situation. One of the questions was about prior shutdowns. Other than some minor inclement weather shutdowns, we've never been shut down like this. So this is, when it comes to how to mitigate and compensate and all that, these are all uncharted territory for us. Obviously, we immediately realized the impact that this was going to have on our local agencies across the state. Because if you can imagine, agencies have a normal annual cycle of retirements and resignations, and then new hires to fill in the rosters along the way. So with, regardless of COVID, the retirements and resignations continue probably at a normal pace. So they have a need to hire new officers that is still there. So we've been shut down approximately 3 months. And under normal operations with the 4 to 5 classes running simultaneously, we on a year put out an average of 250 new recruits. So on average, that's a little over 20 a month. So if you can imagine, not having any recruits running through for 3 months, started a functional backlog of need for agencies. Immediately, we were talking with monitoring CDC guidelines and discussing plans of what we needed to do to reopen with Dr. Spicer, who's a CDC doctor, and we began developing a plan utilizing our full facility and our full capabilities with technology and staff. And we instituted this plan beginning June 28th. That was, we brought back class 511, which was the senior class that had left. So at the end of June, we brought back 1 class. And the way that our plan worked was that normally recruits would be 2 to a dorm room. We have our own dormitory on our campus, which some of you may be aware of our campus, and I'll go and throw in here. Anytime anybody wants to come visit DOCJT in Richmond, I'd be more than happy to show you around so you can kind of see what this looks like in person. But we have our own dormitory with 4 floors, and we're able to have 1 recruit class occupy the 2nd floor of our dorm. And we're able to have 1 recruit per room. So this satisfies some of the core tenets of the CDC guidelines, which are social distancing and mask wearing when you're not able to social distance. And so we're able to have one recruit per room. This affords each recruit essentially their private bathroom. So anytime during the day, during training, if they need to use the restroom, they're to go back to their own room. We provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the recruits during the week, and our orders are that they eat in their rooms. So they go and they pick up food at a cafeteria, which is right next door, and they walk back to their rooms and eat in their rooms. During the daytime, during training, we're able to facilitate movement through the hallways where they're able to socially distance. We've got classrooms that are large enough where we space the desks apart 6+ feet apart. We've got a clear line in front of a classroom where the instructor stands behind, where it's clear at all times. They're at least 6 feet apart from the class. During our PT, physical training and defensive training, we've got a large gym where we're able to space them out again 6+ feet apart. We have an indoor running track where we're able to run spaced, 6 to 10 feet apart. So we're able to satisfy all the CDC guidelines to the best of our abilities with everything that we are aware of with the current understanding of how COVID works, to follow all CDC guidelines. We monitored that for about a week and realized that it was very successful. And we recently successfully argued to bring back additional groups of 30 with the understanding that each group of 30 would remain independent of the other. So if we have 3 groups of 30, that's not a group of 90, that's 3 individual groups of 30. So we're looking to bring back classes 512 and 513 at the beginning of August. They will each class will occupy a separate floor of the dorm room, and again, following the same model that we used for class 511. Separate classroom. We've engineered the schedule to where we won't have any contact between the classes, passing in hallways, stairwells, etc. So from there, moving forward, the plan is, if nothing changes, obviously if things get worse, then we'll have to reassess and adjust. If things get better, then we'll just take further steps to opening back up to normal operations. But for now, the goal is to have 3 basic classes running, up to 3 at a time, until we get through this. So the perspective, again, pre-COVID, we were producing about 250 graduating recruits a year. Having 3 classes running simultaneous under our current plan, we will have approximately 210 officers per year. So it's pretty good, I believe, all things considered. We'll be able to continue to meet our mandate as best as possible. And I feel like 210 a year compared to 250, all things considered, I feel fortunate that we're able to get the number that high. So that's essentially the basic side of my testimony. Are there any questions about that?
Thank you for that testimony. I've got one question, then we're going to proceed to Senator Schickel. But what's your opinion of the effect of the backlog on police departments in the Commonwealth?
Well, again, my experience being a police officer prior to being commissioner, when you've got shifts that have to be scheduled, patrol officers that have areas to patrol, cases that need to be investigated, and that all, you have a certain number of hours you can work in a day per officer safely. And so as manpower diminishes in an agency, they really don't have much choice unless KSP or another nearby agency is able to pick up some slack. So hiring that's a critical aspect of the local agency to make sure that they're able to keep their personnel stock. They do have other options. They can hire officers that are previously certified, and they can also hire laterals from other departments. So I think it is critical that we are able to provide training. I know I've talked with many sheriffs and chiefs over the last few months. They've been very understanding, and I guess understanding is the best way to put it. They understand what we're going through because they don't want to have us have recruits here in an unsafe manner. manner to where the recruits will then perhaps get sick or contract COVID and bring that back to their agency. So they appreciate the effort that we put into doing this in a safe fashion. But to answer your question, I mean, it's a critical part of functioning of a department to be able to fill in manpower for officers that leave. It is critical.
Thank you. Senator Schickel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a few comments I want to make. First of all, Commissioner, I want to congratulate you on your job. I know you've been there for a while, but as a former FOP president myself, and you being a former FOP president as a retired police officer, and one of the things I like about your appointment, Mr. Commissioner, is you do come right from the street, and I think that's a good thing in the times we're living in. And I'm also a graduate of your institution. You were saying you're at class 500 and something, and I was in class 67, so that just gives you a little bit of perspective of how long ago that's been. But it sounds like you're doing a great job. It sounds like you're doing a great job adjusting to these times that we're living in as far as this virus is concerned. The one thing that does concern me, and I know it's totally out of your control, but hopefully we'll be back to a time when things are getting back to normal, because when I hear things like recruits eating in their rooms and things like this, I can't help but think of I remember back many years ago when I went through and been to a lot of graduations since then, the tremendous esprit de corps which develops with relationships with other recruits, and when people are isolated, they don't get the benefit of that, but I understand completely what you're forced to deal with, and I want to congratulate you on doing a great job.
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate your words.
I have one more question, and staff reminded me of the question. I had received this in an email 30 days back, I guess, but it regards the CLEP funding stipend. So when an officer, I know the funding stipend is, the CLEP stipend is tied to training hours. So if officers are not able to get in their hours, how will that affect their stipend?
Yes, no, that is a probably you and me both, sir. I've received many phone calls, both from heads of agencies and from officers, very concerned about this. And that's kind of the second half of the testimony is about the in-service side. Typically, before COVID, we put on about 200 in-service classes. Again, these are classes for officers that are already certified. We've got a beautiful system, a national model here in Kentucky that keeps our officers as very at a high level of proficiency and training, because we require them to have 40 hours of additional professional development. We call it in-service training annually. And there's the CLEP provides a stipend to officers on the condition that they meet that requirement that they have a minimum of 40 hours of KLEC certified training. And I say KLE certified. KLEC is the Kentucky Law Enforcement Council. They are the independent body that oversees the standards for everything that we do with our training. So prior to COVID, for the first few months of the year, there were some officers across Kentucky that were able to get these 40 hours in. Typically, these 200 classes are scheduled throughout all the 12 months of the year. These classes are usually pretty full, and the scheduling is pretty tight. We run these classes all year with all the staff that we have. We put on classes all over the state. It's obviously being shut down, just like the basic side. It makes it difficult then. Ideally, let's say COVID disappeared today, we would have to somehow find a place and a class for all the officers that were scheduled for the last 3 months and overlay those onto all the officers that are scheduled for the class for the remaining part of the year. And what we very quickly realized, not even that it's something to realize, it's very obvious that's just technically impossible. On the side of the agency as well, there's challenges I've heard from heads of numerous agencies that, they when they schedule their officers to do 40 hours, they're not working the street for those 40 hours. So if you're trying to overlay a schedule from the summertime into the fall and winter, then you're doubling up officers potentially, if that were even possible. But those are then further additional officers that are not available to work within their departments during that time. So we were left with this unprecedented situation again of what do we do? Officers are required to have 40 hours training. Without that, they, by law, they aren't able to get the CLEP. So what I did some digging amongst our staff and with the council, and what we realized is that we are able to deliver 8 hours towards the 40 online, in an online fashion. And the council has limited it to 8 hours. So we looked through, what we have available, and with our staff and technology that's available, we are able to put through about 300 officers a week maximum, and that allows for about 25 to 30 officers per instructor. And the way we deliver that is that officers enroll on a Sunday. They have about 7 days to complete it. It's what they call an asynchronous delivery. That means that nothing is live, quote unquote, but students and instructors are able to interact through message boards online. So it's a pretty labor-intensive process to deliver 8 hours over 7 days. So if you have 300 officers over the course of a week, times the number of weeks we have left in the year, what we're going to do beginning in August, we're going to deliver 8 hours of in-service training to the remaining approximately 7,000 officers across the state that are yet to receive their annual 40 hours. So they will receive 8. And we are seeking and in the process of getting a waiver, seeking a waiver through executive order for the remaining 32 hours. So if they complete the 8 hours and have the remaining 32 hours waived, then they would still be eligible. That's how we're trying to get them through to be eligible to still receive that CLEP. And as many of you know, the agencies and officers that work in your districts, Kentucky, unfortunately, the average salary, a lot of officers are making still minimum wage across the state, and I think the average salary is in the 20s. So $4,000 a year is a significant part of an officer's salary. And during this COVID time that we are going through, these officers, there's not a vacation for them. Obviously, their workload is dramatically increased. So we feel, I've been very strong support. In fact, the Kentucky Law Enforcement Council yesterday voted to draft a letter in support of the 32-hour waiver. And in speaking to the Kentucky Association of Chiefs of Police and the Kentucky Sheriff's Association, they both are very much in support of having this 32-hour waiver to be able to maintain the CLEF payments for our officers during 2020. Now, I want to stress, this is unprecedented in 2020. We are only doing this because of the unique circumstances we're under for this year only. This is not something, hopefully, from 2021, the plans and expectations are that we, work towards getting totally back to normal. And also to further adapt what we're able to do, we're looking into new software, new technology, try to see what we can do to help adapt. And one thing I want to say about the technology part, there's been a lot of discussion about technology and how technology can help us meet this training need. In Kentucky, if you talk to folks across the state from Paducah to Pikeville, the infrastructure varies dramatically. We still have large portions of the state that have limited internet access. And for anybody who's gone through these online meetings over the last 3 months, at least from my experience, it's still fairly common to have folks cut in and out and folks that can't get on, the folks that drop connection. And this makes it really difficult to have any kind of meaningful training with those circumstances. So we're doing the best we can with what we have available. We're working closely with the chiefs and sheriffs to figure out ultimately what we can do to work together so that I can do my job in providing the necessary training.
Thank you. We have a remote question from Representative Nemus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Jollick, it's great to have you with us today. I'm very proud of the fact that the Commissioner of the Criminal Justice Office of Criminal Justice Training comes from LMPD, which is my hometown. I'm extremely proud of LMPD and fully support it, especially the patrol officers and the detectives. Very high professional entity there with the officers. Highly respected in my community. So I'm very proud, Nick, that Commissioner Jollick chairs the position that you're in. Two things, though, I want to say I'd like to put my voice as the chairman of the subcommittee over the budget of criminal justice training in the House, as someone who is fully in support, and I'll ask others later, but fully in support of the waiver. One of the problems that we have is recruiting and retaining our officers, and the major portion of that, as it is in most professions, is pay. Our officers undergo tremendous training every year, a number of hours, 40 hours, and they have come to rely on the extra money that SLEP provides. My fear is that if we take the pedantic approach and say, look, if they haven't gotten the hours and they don't get the money, then that will harm us more in the long term, because that money is, like I said, is relied on by our officers. So my question, Commissioner Jollick, is this. We've heard throughout the country and some in Louisville about this, what I would call dangerous defund the police movement. I'd like to say a statement and then have you comment on it. It seems to me that rather than talk about defunding the police, we need to talk about increasing funding to the police. And the reason for that is, with better pay, you're able to attract better officers, and more importantly, perhaps, to retain the good officers that we have, especially at KSP, which we're all responsible for on this call. They're chronically underpaid, even compared to small police units throughout the state. So it seems to me that rather than have the national argument of defund police, we really need to put funding police on steroids so we can attract and retain better officers. I'd like to have you comment on that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your comments, Representative Nemus. I think the old adage is true that ultimately you get what you pay for. And, if we really, I'm proud of Kentucky's standards, and, I'll probably narrow my comments down to my current responsibility, which is the training side of things. There's three levels when it comes to assessing an officer and working towards having a good, quote unquote, good police officer. You've got the hiring phase, which I have no input over, the training phase, and then the standards within each individual department after the fact. So when it comes to each of those, you're correct. Obviously, better pay attracts better candidates. That's kind of a general rule across the private sector for sure. But within the scope of where my responsibility is and what my influence is when it comes to training, I struggle like every other state agency and every other private entity. I want to recruit the best, and I realize that recruiting the best instructors, having the updated technology, the best facilities that really induce learning, and having just all of that together, that costs money. So certainly, all of us within each of our scopes of responsibility are always, come budget time, always struggling to get the best funding that you can to meet your mandate. So certainly defunding or any taking away funding from training will diminish training. And if we really are working towards having officers that are the best, highest trained in the country, that then can deliver the best quality law enforcement, that will certainly cost money. I think that's, in my humble opinion, it's a pretty basic equation.
I have a couple of final questions. Do we have any further online questions or any other questions from members of the committee on this topic? Just to wrap this up, my question is, maybe a comment, is I'm in full agreement with Representative Nemus. We need this waiver probably sooner than later. Of all times in our history, I think we need a full complement of police on the street, and we need a good pool of police officers out there. What is your view of the governor's response to the waiver? Has his office been positive in their response, and what do you think about the time frame?
Well, actually, I literally just got word. So let me start by saying this, and I was actually written note to make sure that I comment on. The governor's office has been, right from the very beginning, extremely supportive and understanding. The governor met with groups of sheriffs and chiefs, where this was one of the things that was expressed to him as well. And the need for the waiver was easy to understand. The governor totally understands. I think a lot of the time frame, a lot of the lag has been, again, this is unprecedented time. We don't have a model to follow. So a lot of the attorneys and lawyers are wanting to make sure that if we do this, that it is done correctly. And so that's really what kind of what has been I guess you want to call it the holdup. But it has, just this morning, it has been approved. I was aware that there were some final drafts that were going back and forth between different groups of attorneys over the last week, and I anticipated it was going to be happening soon. But it has been approved, the 32-hour waiver. So, again, I think so far everybody has been extremely understanding, extremely supportive. I've been very pleased. It has not taken really any lobbying on my part, other than just some patience. I'm not an attorney. I know many of you are, and you understand just the time and attention and due diligence it takes to make sure that something is legally sound. So here we are. I'm very proud to say that the waiver, I'm announcing it here, that the waiver has been approved.
Well, that'll be it for this segment. Thank you, Commissioner, for your hard work on
Yes,
this.
I apologize for going over 15 minutes. I'm not really good at that, but I apologize.
Well, it's not the first time that my vision has been wrong in Frankfurt. My vision for 15 minutes failed, but very, very important information, and we really appreciate your efforts on this and what you're doing. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And again, I want to open an invitation to anybody that has time or wants to come to Richmond. I'm very proud of what we have, and I'd love to show it off.
Thank you so much. Next on the agenda today, we have the Department of Corrections, and they will be presenting on the impact of COVID-19 on DOC. I'm waiting here for some video to come up. Are you there, Commissioner Cruz?
I am.
Thank you. If you could just identify yourself for the record and then proceed.
Okay, my name is Cookie Cruz. I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Corrections. I want to start out by saying just a little reminder that I'm just giving some facts, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody because this virus is its own entity and it does its own thing. But I kind of want to take you back to February when we first started hearing about this virus. The Department of Corrections started taking action of how our policies run, what our institutions would look like, how we're going to bat this virus. Those of us in this room and those of us wherever you are out there, we're going about our normal lives. The inmates were still going out to court. We still had visitors coming inside the prison. The inmates were going outside to doctor's appointments. Life was just as we know it. And so in our quest to make sure that we can combat this virus, here are some of the steps that we did for prevention, and I'm going to have Deputy Commissioner White talk a little bit about all of the steps that we took for prevention.
I'm Deputy Commissioner Randy White, and started out as an officer on the beat as a correctional officer, and I'm an EKU graduate, and was working at two prisons, one being Green River, so I'm very familiar with the situation on the ground there, where we had a significant outbreak of COVID. And thank you this morning for your time and to hear constant, continual learning curve for us. And I read a statement today that a prison is a significant challenge, an outbreak in a prison, because it's like a cruise ship that never closes. We never close. We can't shut down. We have to hunker down and manage and deal with whatever is thrown our way. And certainly a pandemic maybe ranks right up there with a meteorite coming from outer space or some other catastrophe that you think it might happen, but it has happened. You know, the COVID virus is still not an exact science due to the unpredictable nature of the virus. We live as staff members with the population. Many times we spend more time with them than our own families when they work 14-hour, 16-hour shifts, 5, 6, maybe 7 days a week due to staff shortage. So it's in our utmost and best interest to try to manage COVID, keep it out of the prisons, mitigate it, because we live with them, and it can pass back and forth between staff and inmates. We recognize that it's in our best interest for our own families, for the inmates. So when the COVID virus outbreak began around the country, we knew it was a matter of time before it came into the prison, because it's a silent, unseen enemy. And our philosophy was to educate staff and inmates, to do our best to prevent the virus for all the mechanics associated with prevention, to mitigate the virus if and when it does hit the prisons, because we're realistic. We know it's going to get into the prisons eventually, probably all of them, and we anticipate a second surge and maybe beyond that. And I think that, you know, we're seeing that right now. And also containment when it does get into a prison, so that we can beat it back out and manage it and eventually eliminate it from the prison. We're very realistic in that vision, in that viewpoint going forward. We know that it will likely get into all of our prisons eventually. So I've got an extensive list of measures and protocols and things that we've done to try to educate, prevent, mitigate, and contain. I know that our folks on the line today, your time is very valuable, so I'm not going to go through every single bullet, but what I'll hit is the highlights, and I would be happy to answer any questions along with Commissioner Cruz when we want to get into the details of what we've done within our prison system. So initially, population movement is an area that we address. We stop transfers between prisons except for emergency and medical and mental health transfers. We implemented quarantine observation periods for all inmates if we were to receive them into a prison, or if they went out to court, or if they went out to the hospital. When they came back into the prison, we quarantined that inmate for 14 days to watch for signs and symptoms. And obviously, there's many other steps that we took within population movement, and I can answer questions and get into that. But again, I'm just going to hit the surface of each one of these categories. COVID education, we included segments in the new hire and the in-service training for all staff that included modules to educate staff on the recognition of signs and symptoms of COVID. These were in accordance with CDC guidelines. We educated, in addition to that, on proper hygiene practices, how to prevent the spread of the virus, and how to wear protective equipment that was provided to the staff. We coordinated bulletins provided by the Department of Public Health and authorized by the Department of Public Health. We broadcast those bulletins both within the prison on associated media outlets, and we posted those bulletins, basically taped them up on the bulletin boards and put them out for all to see in an attempt to educate the inmate. We identified at-risk individuals, both staff and inmates, within the prison. And these at-risk individuals were identified using CDC guidelines. We started monitoring those individuals in addition to the staff members to determine if they needed extra attention, if the staff member lived or had a health condition or lived with a family member that was highly at risk if COVID infected. We had plans in place to mitigate and to monitor their shift assignments so that we did not put them into the danger of exposure or catching the virus. In the event of an outbreak, we managed using, those movement techniques and that management technique and those housing techniques, we were able to eliminate the COVID from Green River. Now, we're cautious, and I know the commissioner is very cautious to say and eliminate it because the outbreak could come back. There's a lot of cases in Gillberg County and that associated area, a lot of positive cases right currently. But we went from around 360 to 400 individuals, including staff, to zero positive cases. So that's a miracle. It's amazing. The staff and the inmates work together. So we went from around 400 cases to zero. Communal gatherings. We temporarily suspended all outside program contractors from coming in and conducting in-person classes with the inmates. We're doing those for the most part where we can in most prisons online now for social distancing and to be on the safe side. We suspended all education staff to hold classes in person within the prison in order to enforce proper social distancing and prevent a possible outbreak. Per the governor's directives, we suspended inmate visitation until further notice. And the inmates have been extremely cooperative and surprisingly and refreshingly cooperative with the suspension of visitation, in-person visitation within the prisons. All staff communal training gatherings was at first suspended and later modified according to Governor Beshear's issued guidelines to maintain proper social distancing. A lot of the protocols that Commissioner Gilliak expanded upon in detail in his testimony, we're following the same protocols. Keeping the correctional officers coming in, getting hired, and getting them trained, and also within service training, because we can't run prisons. We've got to keep prisons going 24/7. We cannot run them with correctional officer vacancies if they get to the extreme. So we had to present a plan to the governor's office for approval for communal academy training for new hires. Next category is personal protective equipment. All staff and all inmates were provided with face masks, and this is to prevent the exposure through the control of droplets, through talking, sneezing, whatever. And we've issued today probably over 25 to 30,000 face masks within the Department of Corrections. Have an ample supply for staff and inmates, and those were made on grounds within the Kentucky Correctional Industries at Eddyville, Kentucky. And so we're making our own. And we do have a supply of N95 and KN95 masks if necessary. If we have to wear those in the hospital and transport inmates that are COVID positive for inmates and staff. So we're working very closely with emergency management in Kentucky to secure those supplies and to be responsible and reasonable with those supplies. We're also making medical grade gowns that is approved by Dr. Stack and DHFS and the Department of Public Health for issuance to the prisons and beyond. So again, these are medical grade gowns, antiviral gowns that's made on site in the garment factory at Eddyville State Penitentiary. The donning of face masks was made mandatory for staff while the donning of face masks was made mandatory in most prisons where possible and when possible for all inmates. But again, we're dealing with sometimes a resistant population. Sometimes these offenders have serious pathology and they just simply don't want to wear them. But for the most part, the inmates have been very refreshingly cooperative with wearing the face mask. Perhaps one of the most important steps that we've taken is that we've established clinical authority. And what I mean by that is that the Department of Public Health assumes with the DOC and CHFS any movement, any housing assignments, and any work-related, putting staff off of work is a clinical decision. We're not guessing at what we're doing. This is in consultation with Commissioner Cruz, Dr. Stack's office, the local health department, and the Department of Public Health, and in consultation with Dr. Spicer and others. So we've established clinical authority management within the Department of Corrections. We're not guessing at what we do. There is a triage and a hierarchy of all administrative clinical that all hierarchy and that authority, in consultation with the DPH and the Health Service Director in each facility board. So these things are looked at very closely. If we have an outbreak, how do we manage the categories of inmates, whether they're positive, exposed, or they're negative and not exposed. All testing and movement decisions are determined via a triage consultation consistent of the Department of Corrections, DHFS, and the DPH, and corresponding local health department, and as facilitated through the wardens on the ground and the staff within the prisons. Finally, sanitation measures. We've significantly increased inmate clean teams within the prison, triple, quadrupled them. For instance, if an inmate uses a phone immediately after the inmate uses a phone, the inmate on the clean team will approach that phone and spray it with a antiviral cleaning detergent. We've increased the issuance of soap and germicide and bleach where possible and safely available within the prison. We've even went as far as we've got creative, and we came up with this idea from the state parks. We've implemented what we call foot bath or boot bath station at the entry of the prison. So if you walk across that when you come into the prison, it's got an antiviral solution in it, so you can't track COVID into the prison. We got that from the state parks, that idea. When you go into the cage, and it's you have to walk across that boot bath, protect the badge from spores, I think it was. We provide natural gloves to the inmates where possible and to all staff that are also antiviral. We provide alcoholic hand sanitizer according to CDC guidelines, and we're, I guess, somewhat fortunate that we live in Kentucky and there's plenty of hand sanitizer available from the bourbon industry that they've been very gracious and they've donated hand sanitizers to us. We've also been able to distribute that and share that with other entities within the Justice Cabinet, state police, I think maybe criminal justice training, juvenile justice. And we've been creative, and we've provided foggers to the prisons where we basically take a garden sprayer and we put bleach in these things and we put it on the fog setting. We walk through the prison during low traffic areas and we spray desktops, countertops, door handles with a bleach solution according to the CDC guidelines. Finally, staff mitigation, recognizing that staff will probably be the primary virus introduction into the facility. We've initiated staff visitor temperature checks upon reporting to work, and we have guidelines that we follow. If a staff or visitor were to register a high temperature, if a staff member is exposed to someone that is positive for COVID, they will inform us. We've got some personnel protocols about putting them on leave and quarantining that staff member. We've reassessed and redefined what staff are essential to maintain continued operations of the facility. We've prepared emergency incident action plans within prison, each prison, to account for staff vacancies during a COVID-19 infection, because what we call cascading effects, and that's unintended effects. We have to be prepared for a cascading effect within a prison for staff vacancies. Staff members identified as high risk would be reassigned to work post assignments, not in immediate areas that would potentially expose them, or if they have family members that could be high risk. If we have an outbreak in the prison, we went as far as siloing staff, work them in the same areas, and not to spread them around to the prison and work them on various assigned posts to avoid what Dr. Stack calls the honeybee effect. We don't want the honeybee effect to occur within the prison. So finally, and to conclude, some additional measures is that we've suspended medical co-pays for inmates because we don't want the inmate to lie in their cell or to stay in their living area sick and to avoid going to the doctor within the prison or to sign up for sick call just so that they don't have to pay the copay. We encourage them to go to sick call if they feel to, any degree or to have any signs and symptoms of the COVID virus. We wanted to remove that obstacle just so that they would be unencumbered and not inhibited in inmates with a free phone call and 2 free JPay messages or free letters, electronic letters to their family every week to encourage communication with the families. Because even though visitation cannot occur, the families are very concerned. We know that they want to know what the inmates' conditions are, and we want to be transparent as much as we can, and we're able to encourage communication with the families to alleviate tension. And so that is some of the highlights. There's many more steps that we've taken, but I didn't want to cover all of your time this morning. I know that it's very important to get through this and cover the material. And so I'll be happy to try to answer any questions or to talk with Commissioner Cruz and try to answer questions if you were to have any.
So if you also remember during the time in February, March, just like the free world having problems getting testing for this virus, we did too. So on March 25th at Great River Correctional Complex, there were 2 staff members who ended up testing positive for the virus. And then on April the 5th, it began with inmates testing positive for the virus. After the first 46 inmates that had tested positive, we did mass testing. The governor was gracious enough to give us some of those precious tests. At the time, you couldn't even buy them. I mean, it was just so hard to come by all of the things that we needed to be able to test inmates. On April 28th, 29th, and May 1st, we test the whole population of Green River. It resulted in 307 positive inmates. We separated the inmates into 4 categories. We put one in one dorm that are positive, another dorm all the negatives. Then we had the negatives but exposed, and then we put the vulnerable population together. Now, what I want to say is that you come into this virus and you have an institution that is 35% vacancy rate. By the time the virus goes through your institution, you could be 65% short of your security staff trying to maintain what you need to do to just get through the day and keep the inmates safe. So we had already locked down Green River as we were testing. So Green River's dormitory style is double bumping. You have a roommate in your everything has you have a roommate. So if you were positive and say like Randy was negative, we would split them too, but we would say he was negative but exposed. So the next time you go around, you would test the negative to see if they had become positive at the time. So this, I can't say how hard that this virus got to be on our staff. Because you got to understand, they had a family, but they came to work every day. And when you have the population who is sick and you're not sure about the virus and you want to keep them safe and you want to keep your staff safe, they become the cooks, they become the laundry workers, they become the people who cleaned up, the staff was bread thin, but you know, any day they could come in and say, I've had enough. But they did. They hung in with us. Our medical department got taken out twice. We got other people from other institutions to come down, knowing that they could get exposed and get the virus, but they came anyway, and we said, talk to your loved ones and let them know. You're coming down, you're helping this institution, and you're going to have to go home and quarantine for 14 days. And what a sacrifice that their families made to help Green River out. Halfway through this testing, we found out that because, you know, inmates do talk, and they say, well, I've been sick for several days, but my roommate threatened me and said, if you tell, you know, you'll have repercussions. feel. A lot of times you can look at people in their eyes and think they don't feel well at all. So that we can get on top of the symptoms. You know, there's not a vaccine, but the only thing you can do is treat the symptoms. And these medical people went out door to door, checking on inmates. We sent down for mental health because I don't know about you all, but during this pandemic, a lot of people are shut in. They're not sure what's going to happen. You know, a lot of people in our community didn't have a job to go to, was laid off, and it starts to you know, it starts to have some serious effect on your mental health. And it was important for me, for those inmates to be able to talk to mental health, to see a provider out there. You know, we cared about what happened to them. And the best thing about this is if you tell an inmate what's going to happen, they're okay. They may not like it, but they're okay with it. You just have to keep them, here's what we're going to do. It took several months to recover Green River, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you that without the Department of Public Health, we couldn't have done this by ourselves, because from the date that the first positive come, and even to now, they are with us. We had the local hospital in Muhlenberg County and Paducah. They're owned by the same company. Got on conference calls with us. They said, we'll make a wing for you. And if you need even more, we'll use the convention center. They arranged that if we start having a lot of people go out to the hospital, that they will have an ambulance on this side of the county to be able to help us transport people to the hospital. So it was absolutely, the Department of Corrections did not do this alone. We had so many outside entities help us. It took a long process, and I can't stress enough that when you move that population 4 or 5 times, how much toll it takes on the inmates, because, you know, this is where they live for a time being. And it took a toll on the staff. Now, we finally got them to where, and Randy's right, I don't ever want to say, we've fully recovered, because we haven't fully recovered. We just don't have a positive at this time at Green River. But we've learned a lot of things. We've learned that if you're going to release people, you got to release people where you know that when they walk out that prison gate, that they're going to their family member negative. I can't answer for what they do once they leave, but I can answer that when we tested them to go home, they were negative. And that becomes where we would sit on the phone for hours and talk about a case, and we trace back to, okay, Jimmy lived with John at the beginning. They split off. John was exposed. Jimmy was positive. Even down to we went back to spreadsheets. Okay, let's go over this again to make sure that we did not leave one thing overturned. We ended up deciding, okay, so everybody is not positive at this time. How do we open up Green River? And so we did this as a soft opening. The first thing we looked at was food service. Okay, I'm big on inmates getting a hot meal. Let's look at your food service department and let's mark it off where you have 2 to the table. There's social distancing, and make sure that we get the food service guys out to start cooking 3 hot meals. And we had a project in industries that needed to be completed, and so we took about 4 or 5 guys and started letting them work. It is a soft opening throughout the Department of Corrections. We have not fully opened. A lot of our staff are working from home that are non-essential. And then I thought, going to decree. Then, June the 11th, I received a call that said we need to test some inmates at KCIW. And so it began. We tested 26 people, 11 came back positive. Now, let me tell you a little bit about KCIW.
Commissioner,
Uh-huh.
I need to stop you right there. Unfortunately, here in this conference room, we only have 5 more minutes of use.
I am so sorry I went on and on.
That's okay. That's okay. It's a COVID thing. We've got a hard break here, so I do want to. We have 5 minutes, so I want to save that time for questions. Thank you to the commissioner and the deputy commissioner for an excellent presentation. Senator Webb.
Thank you, and thank you all for what you're doing, because it's what you should be doing for our inmates and guards. And I want to bring the attention to the committee and also ask some questions regarding my situation in Carter County, which I don't, for the committee's knowledge, I find out a lot of things from inmates throughout institutions, the nature of my law practice throughout the state, and all the information I get from them is very reliable. And I got this information from inmates and inmates' families that a weekend before last, the state removed 54 prisoners out of my Carter County jail. That's our prisoners. We as state policymakers, and I as the state senator, I claim responsibility for our state inmates, especially those in county jails. I've talked about it a lot for the last 22 years, and I'm going to continue talking about it. We've had, out of those, 5 women were positive. They're at KCIW now. 49 men have been tested. I assume there's no positives. I haven't gotten the latest report. I've spent an inordinate amount of my last 10 days dealing with this issue on every level, with every agency, every local official, and inmates and their families. So the last 10 days I've been consumed by this. And I'm glad to do this because it's important to me. We have state prisoners in county jails with lack of consistent protocol. It's all great what you're doing in the facilities. I feel much better about my 54 people, my constituents, my clients, and other people's that are in the state facilities, because I know what you're doing, because I've got clients and guards throughout the state that tell me what's going on. But I had to hear all this from inmates. And there's lack of uniform protocols, there's lack of reporting, there's lack of oversight in this instance, in my opinion, on what's transpired here, and we've got, and lack of maybe even medical oversight and consistent care. Lack of testing protocols. We've got state inmates that we're responsible for in these county jails, and we don't know what's going on there. And I'm not real thrilled about it. And I love my jailer. I've got confidence in him, but something's happened here that's caused a problem. And I'm going to use it as the poster children to bring to light the problem that we have when we farm out our state inmates that we're responsible for, and we don't properly oversight. And this has brought it to light to me more than ever, even though I know whether it's programmatically, in healthcare, any other way, we have great discrepancies with where some inmate, by some luck of the draw, gets put. And this is something we've got to talk about, and I wanted this committee to know what's going on here, and we as policymakers are responsible for these state inmates. I don't want it operating in a silo anymore. We need information about what's going on here. I appreciate what you all are doing. I appreciate how you've handled it, except you've had not much communication with me other than me calling, and the Justice Secretary has been very good, and I appreciate that. But we're responsible for these people in our county jails, and Senator Schickel's been a jailer, and we've worked on commissions and task forces and everything else through the years. But this has really consumed a lot of my time, energy, and passion in the last 10 days, and I have great concerns for what's going on with our state inmates. And I just want to see more oversight and consistent protocol from the corrections cabinet. And I guess my question is, what are we gonna do about it? Thank you.
I apologize, but that response has, if any, has to be pretty quick. Senator Schickel has a question next, and we're running really short on time, so any answer needs to be quick.
Thank you, Senator Webb. I will get back to you, we're running short on time, and put that in writing to you.
Yeah, I apologize. We need to have a better space where we're able to have more time. Senator Schickel.
Thank you. Madam Commissioner, when someone tells me that prisoners want hot meals and they want to know what's happening, I know we have a commissioner that it knows what it's like to be in a prison. And those are two very important things. But I got two questions for you. Number one, are the inmates getting their mail? And that's question number one. And number two is, tell me the direct effect of the COVID on prison population. How much of the population has been reduced as a result of COVID and correction policies? Thank you.
Well, in the answer to your first question is yes, they are getting their mail. And the answer to your second question, we had released 1,170 inmates during our first release.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That'll be it for today. At this time, we have a little bit of housekeeping. Thank you, Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner, for that great presentation. We really appreciate it. And
Thank you all.
appreciate what you do. Any members joining the meeting after roll call right now, if you would please indicate your presence. We have Senator Webb that came in, and anybody online who came in later, if you would state that now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Jason Nemus, in present.
Thank you. Any others remotely? Seeing none, that concludes this meeting of the Budget Review Subcommittee. Everyone have a nice day.